and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about the two classifications of cells. So what makes up a cell to start with? So cells are the basic structure and function biologically that an organism can be. So cells are usually classified as the building blocks of life. So we break those down into two categories, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So let's talk about prokaryotic first for a moment. Pro means before. So I'm looking at before membranes or before nucleus. Now if I'm considered a prokaryote, I'm an organism with no nucleus in my cell. So these prokaryotic cells are cells that are usually smaller in size, they lack the organelles, and then they're usually found in unicellular organelles. So I'm usually a one-cell organism. My biggest example of those that we are going to look at are bacteria cells. If I am classified as a eukaryote, what does that mean? So you means true. So eukaryotes are going to be true nucleus organisms. So if I'm considered a eukaryote, I'm an organism with cells that do have a nucleus. Eukaryotic cells are usually larger in size. They have these membrane-bound organelles, and they're usually multicellular, which they have two or more. Examples of those are plants and animals. And under animals, I can consider myself. I am a eukaryotic organism. Now, if you look at the chart here, you will notice that there's a couple of things going on because we start to look at atoms and then we start to move up in the direction of human beings. So we are looking through going, okay, an atom is the smallest. Then we talk about those lipids that are going to make those organelles. We come into bigger proteins. We've skipped viruses for now, and we end up hitting the mitochondria, going through and looking at the size of the bacteria. So mitochondria are a membrane-bound organelle that you will find inside of a eukaryotic cell. If that gives you some range about how small these organisms are going to be. You move on to finding out, you see that the animal cell and that plant cell, considered our eukaryotic cells, are going to be larger in size. Now, we are going to do a little bit of comparison. So just hang out with me for just a minute. So talking about these classifications and what makes each one of these unique, let's do this in a Venn diagram so we can see more specifically what we've got. So we put eukaryote on one side and we put prokaryote on the other with how they both are similar in the middle. So let's start with our eukaryotes. Our eukaryotes are going to have a nucleus. They are going to have specific organelles that are membrane bound. These can be either unicellular or multicellular. Okay, what else have these is that some have cilia, and these can be animal cells, plant cells, and some are protists. So we're looking that a lot more fit into this category. So now let's go over to our prokaryotes. We know right off the bat that prokaryote means no nucleus or before nucleus, so they have no nucleus, which means they have no organelles that are membrane bound. Okay, so they are smaller. In some cases, they can be more abundant. What else makes these unique? They have cell walls, which we'll get to that. Some eukaryotics do, but some don't. These can live in a wide variety of environments. And our biggest they are mostly bacteria. So now we know the differences. Are there anything that is considered the same? So let's go in here and really start to look at what is the same between both of these. Now, both are going to have ribosomes. They both have DNA. Now the DNA is going to be held in both of these cells in a different way, but they both have DNA. They both have cytoplasm. Let me move back over here. They both have a cell membrane. And some of both, for movement, have what's called flagella. So now that we know that there are specific differences between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, but we do have some similar characteristics that are going to end up making these classifications, knowing that this is why they are structurally and functionally the building blocks of life. So regardless of which eukaryotic or prokaryotic, they still are cells and that building block of life. So I hope that helped just a little bit to differentiate between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. I hope to see you next time. Now I'm out. I gotta take a selfie.